Hey, it's Dr. Brower.
And I'm Dr. Emily.
And this week we are talking straight about crawling. If you know anything about me, get really hyped up about constipation, ear infections, and crawling. So here we go. I hope you're buckled in for a ride. If your baby is not crawling pretty, oh God, please bring them in. If you do nothing else, there is so much we can do for that. It can be a sign of fascial tension, which, that's our new, coolest, most fun thing that we're doing right now. It also can be an issue with hip alignment. It can be a sign of their left and right brain not crossing over like they should. There's just really so much at play. It's hard to say that there's like a hard and fast answer to why your kid isn't crawling pretty, but we know that we need them to crawl properly because that's how we properly integrate those left and right sides of the brain. I feel like at this point, if you're an adult, you know who you are if you struggle to kind of get those left and right brains working together. But I really want to give it over to Dr. Emily to talk about the results of what she's seeing with those kiddos who are struggling with that correlation with all her ADHD brain balance work, because that's where I feel like we're headed when we don't get these kids that are making those proper cross-call movements.
I think the important part is I think they took it off the guidelines, didn't they?
Yes.
They took it off the schedule that it's no longer even a requirement to crawl before walking.
Yes.
I still highly disagree with that because when we crawl, we really cross sides of our body, which helps integrate both sides of our brain. So if your child decides to start walking before they ever started crawling, or if they really only crawled for like a week and then they started walking, I like to say, it's a joke, but shove the baby down. Yeah, we like to put them back on all fours. Push them back down and make them crawl because they need to crawl. It's a learning thing. It's actually really good for them. It's okay if you prolong crawl for a little bit longer. It really is helpful later on. So when we can't cross midline in just our arms and our legs, it's really hard for us later on to cross midline in our eyes and our head. And what do we have our kids do all day? We have them sit at a desk and read. So how are they supposed to keep their head still, keep their eyes jump from word to word to word when they can't even go from arm to leg? So we have to integrate those big muscles before we can integrate those small muscles. So if your child's having trouble reading, that might be a sign that we need to help with all that. So yes, crawl so your child can read. That's our main story here.
So since they took it off the milestones, most good pediatricians will still kind of keep it in there, but it's not really a result of a delay anymore, which is really unfortunate. But we like those kiddos crawling from 6 to 9 months, and then we're still wanting them to walk around a year. The milestone is pushed back to 18 months. This all happened during COVID. We can go into a whole different tangent about that. We don't have time for that today, but yeah. So 6 to 9 months is what we're shooting for here. If you have any questions, drop them below.